What's this? A video on Tuesday? Yes, I am bringing back my every other Tuesday videos, but instead of doing vlogs or streams or whatever other things I did in the past, Tuesdays are going to be for tag videos. Hello everybody, my name is Danny, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the first installment of Tuesday tag videos. I'm not going to keep calling it that, I just think it's funny that it's alliterative. Basically, I used to make videos every other Tuesday. It started off as just bonus videos, then I turned it to that's when my vlogs would come out, and then I was not feeling vlogs, so I was going to stream every other Tuesday, and then I just gave up on Tuesday videos altogether. I'm bringing it back because there's a lot of tag videos that I want to do, and I think Tuesday tag sounds really fun together. So for the time being, I'm going to put up videos every other Tuesday doing tags about reading and writing and other stuff maybe, who knows. But today I actually have a fun tag that I made myself, and I'm calling it the K-pop group TBR tag. Basically, we're going to build a K-pop group. We're going to use different positions used in K-pop groups because I'm a big fan of K-pop, and build a TBR of sorts. And there are several videos on YouTube called like the K-pop TBR tag or K-pop book tag, all that kind of thing, and none of them were really what I wanted to do, so that's why I made my own, but I will link some of the ones that I found down below because they are still pretty interesting. One of them is not in English, but I liked the questions, so I'm still going to include it. So I tried to pick books from my physical TBR for this video, but there are two that I don't own physically. I have them, I have access to them digitally, but I still want to talk about them because they are very high on my TBR, so that's the plan. We're just gonna get started now. So the first K-pop group position we're going to talk about is the leader, and the leader is kind of like the public representative of the group. They tend to introduce the group in interviews and stuff like that, and if they win any awards, they'll do the thank you speeches, things of that nature. And so for this, the question is to pick a book that is the one you want to pick up the most, or it's the strongest contender for your next read. And for me, that book is Doll Bones by Holly Black. This is the strongest contender for my next read because it is on my TBR for the Newbery Nostalgia. I will link that video down below if you haven't seen it. But basically, I've never read any Holly Black before, and I don't even remember what this book is about. I don't remember if I read the summary or not. If I did, I completely forgot it. But no clue what this book is about, but for some reason, just like the title and the cover are so appealing to me, and I want to read this book so bad. The next position is the vocalist, and vocalists have amazing singing voices that really bring life to the lyrics of the song. And so for this one, you are to pick a book that either the title of it is a song lyric, as I've noticed is pretty common in books, especially among certain genres, or it just reminds you of a certain song. So for this, I'm going with The Water in the Wild by K.E. Ormsby. First of all, can we just talk a minute about this cover? Absolutely stunning. But the song this reminds me of is The Horror in the Wild by The Amazing Devil. Every time I go to talk about this book, I have to stop myself from calling it The Horror in the Wild. It's The Water in the Wild. But I don't know. It's weird because the song really doesn't fit the vibes of the book, but it's just too similar for me to not confuse them sometimes. The next position is the rapper of the group, and a lot of rappers in K-pop groups write their own raps instead of lyricists and songwriters and producers writing it for them. And so for this, you have to pick a self-published book, and this is the other book that I don't own physically, and that is All the King's Traders by Keelan Rivers. I don't know what it is about this book that just sounds so enticing. First of all, what a great title. I'm kind of obsessed. But also just the premise hits a whole bunch of points for me that I want to pick this book up so bad. Then we come to the dancer, and dancers are usually front and center during performances because they're just so incredibly skilled. It's awe-inspiring. And so for this, I want you to pick a book that is intimidating. Maybe not the most intimidating book on your TBR, but an intimidating book that you want to read. For that, I am picking Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This is my bind-up of Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights. Jane Eyre is not on my TBR, I've read that before, but I've never read Wuthering Heights, and I really want to, but it's very intimidating because it's a classic, and I'm not the biggest fan of most classics, but also it's kind of just thick. But like, I know I'm going to love this book, and that's also intimidating. So I don't know. Do you guys have that where you know you're gonna love a book and that makes you not want to pick it up because what if you're wrong? I feel that. I feel that about Wuthering Heights, but that's why I'm putting it as one of the most intimidating books on my TBR. Up next, we have the visual, and the visual is considered to be the most attractive member of a K-pop group, and so for this, pick the book with the most beautiful cover, and for that, I'm going with The Library of Legends by Janie Chang. I'm gonna get a little close-up for you. This camera is not doing it justice, especially because it's gonna be flipped, but like, oh, this is so beautiful. Now, I think every book I've shown so far has been gorgeous, but this one is just something else. It's got like this painting kind of quality. Like, it looks like it's a painting on canvas. It's got like the, I don't know art term. Someone who's an artist, Marta, Nikki, one of you tell me what that's called, like the lines on the canvas. But then it's got this like beautiful decoration on the top. Again, I don't know art terms, but like this book is just absolutely beautiful. I could stare at it for so long. Next, we have the face of the group, which is the member who goes on variety shows and things like that. Not usually with the group, but like they'll be the one member to go and represent the group in different things to like get more hype for the group. They tend to be the most like personable or outgoing. So for this, I want you to pick the book that has the most public hype around it, and that for sure on my TBR is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I want to read this so bad, but like, I honestly I could have put this for intimidating, but I don't think it's as intimidating as Wuthering Heights for me. But like, this Brandon Sanderson, especially this year, remember his Kickstarter? Like, he's got the most public hype around him as an author, and like, this is like the quintessential Brandon Sanderson. Like, yes, he's had books since this, and he's had books before this, but like, when you talk about Brandon Sanderson, you talk about the Mistborn series. And this has been a book, I haven't owned it for like a decade, but it's been a book that I've been recommended to read and have been wanting to read for a decade. And so I would say it's got quite a bit of public hype around it to have that much staying power. And the final prompt is the maknae, and the maknae is just the youngest member of the group, and so for this, just pick the newest addition to your TBR. And so for that, I have The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. It still has my sticker from Goodwill where I bought it, because I literally just got it like last week, and I haven't been bothered to take the sticker off yet. But yeah, this is book one in the second era of Mistborn. So there's the Mistborn trilogy, and then there's this. Is this also a trilogy? I think there might be 4 books. Maybe there's only 3 out. I don't know. I've never read a Brandon Sanderson, but I bought the first trilogy, like the Mistborn trilogy, from not Goodwill, but like a secondhand shop months and months ago. And then when I went to Goodwill last week with my friends, I saw this and I'm like, well, I still haven't read the Mistborn trilogy, but why don't we just continue collecting his books? And so I guess I'm collecting them in this edition and buying them at thrift stores, which is honestly a very financially responsible decision of me. But yeah, this is the newest addition to my TBR. And that's it. Those are all the prompts. And I'm going to tag one person. I'm going to tag V from the Sassy Library Fox because I know she loves K-pop just like I do. I am sure that some of my other reader friends love K-pop, but I can't think of any off the top of my head, so she's the only one I'm going to officially tag. But of course, if you want to do this, please do. I would love to see everyone's takes on this. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys!